1999 soft top, 15,500 pound, 35,106.5 turbo diesel. Hey folks, welcome back to another vlog. Appreciate you guys watching. Ryan Wilson here from Predator Inc. Today, I've got something a little bit different than our normal vlog. This one is all about this yellow 1999 soft top. It's actually coming up for sale in the next day or so. We've kind of leaked it out to a few people calling in, and it may actually sell before this vlog ever hits YouTube. But if not, shoot us a call if you're interested. Cool thing about this thing is it is a gem. This thing is in beautiful shape inside and out. Only 35,000 miles. Actually, I think it was 35,100 miles is what we hit pulling into this farm here. But it's really, really clean, straight truck. It came out of Texas, super dry environment, and there's virtually no rust on the truck or corrosion that I saw on here at all. It's just a really clean truck. So if you are looking for a yellow soft top, low miles, something that's really clean, this is it. When we got it in, it was actually pretty stock. Stock front factory winch, and I don't think it had a brush guard at the time. Yes, it did. It had just a standard little hoop design brush guard, factory brush guard, factory rear bumper, stock rims and tires. And tires were shot. I think they're the original tires on the truck from 1999. The truck just really wasn't driven. It just kind of kept indoors. So we got it in and we stripped all that stuff off. We put the front Viper winch bumper on here. We didn't put a winch in there. Wanted to keep it a little bit lighter weight. I wanted to get as much black on this truck as possible. Yellow has been one of my favorite trucks, and actually this is kind of an iconic color back in the late 90s. Yellow was like the color to have. I wanted as much chrome and silver off this truck as possible. I think black gives it a really aggressive look. So that's why I went with all the black plates on here. Everything's blacked out. So a lot of times we do aluminum plates. This one we went with black plates. You can also see we have the Warren Ford shackles up here, which are, in my opinion, some of the best available. And then we've got the integrated D-ring brush guard, and it integrates into the Viper front winch bumper. And check this out. Pull the pins out. So the upper mounts are actually billet steel. And I think they take about 45 minutes on our CNC mill just to machine one. So it takes a lot of time to do it, but they're accurate, precise, and really makes this truck look, or this brush guard look really, really good. It also aids to the quality that goes into this. But as you can see, it stops out right here. And then you can open up the hood from there. It has rubber stops built into the bumper. And so you don't have to worry about it kind of going forward and scratching your brush guard. It does stop out there. And then, of course, we've got the airlift hooks over here. So these are heavy duty airlift hooks. We haven't thrown the rubber gaskets on here, which has a billet aluminum mount that rotates or wraps around the mount itself. But we'll leave that up to the customer if they want those. Some people want them, some people don't. It's kind of one of those things, you like it or you don't like it. I personally love it. If I was gonna keep the truck for myself, I'd throw them on there, but completely up to you guys. And let us know what you guys think. Do you like the gaskets up here or just the plain hood? Jason, if you could throw up a picture of the gasket so people can see it. But let me know what you think. I like the gaskets personally. So coming down the truck, again, I wanted to get as much of the aluminum and chrome color off the truck as possible. So we took off the factory rims and tires. We put our blacked out simulated V-Lock rims on here in 20s, as well as stainless steel CTIS and stainless steel hardware. I know I mentioned just now, wanted to get as much off as possible in the way of chrome or stainless or aluminum, but I think a nice little accent like that looks really good. And then mounted to the Toyo MT Open Countries 38 by 13.5 20s. One of my favorite tires out there. They just run really, really, really well. Coming down the truck, just a really clean truck. Top's in great shape. It says a lot for a 21-year-old truck. and shows that it was well kept indoors. Just a beautiful truck overall. You don't see the corrosion on here that you do on a lot of trucks that's been through weather. This one just hasn't. It's really clean. And then it has a tonneau cover on the bed, and this thing unvelcros, and you can get in the bed of the truck. And then coming back here, we have our 16.5 rear bumper. So this guy can house a 16,500 pound Warren winch, and you can see that with the protrusion that comes out here. Our standard search and rescue bumper goes straight across from here, and you can put a 12,000 pound winch in there, but if you kind of have to be over the top, you can get away with the 16,000 pound winch in here. 16,500 pound Warren winch. It will fit in there. We also went with blacked out plates on here as well. Again, kind of aiding to that theme of fully blacked out, as getting as much black on there as possible. And then, of course, you've got your tow hitch here. Your Warren Ford shackles. In my opinion, they're the best out there. And then coming up the side of the truck over here, again, just really clean. Doesn't have the corrosion or rust or damage to this truck. It's just a really nice truck overall. Factory 6.5 turbo diesel engine, runs really well. Oil pressure is all above 20 psi when it's fully warmed up. So let's go ahead and pop open the hood. I'll show you the engine. All right, so inside the engine bay, just super clean truck. Oh, it also has a 2-inch body lift. We ran the 2-inch body lift on this truck to clear the 38-inch tires. You don't necessarily need to do a lift kit on a truck to clear 38s, but I prefer to. It gives you a lot more clearance when you're running a bigger tire, especially if you're gonna be using this truck. If you're gonna fully articulate this truck and compress one of that, specifically that front right tire, it can hit the air box. Check out the air box just below that. See that guy there? So a tire could potentially hit that guy if you're fully compressing that up in that wheel well. So that added 2 inches of body clearance lifts all of that up, and you're gonna have the proper clearance. It also sets you up if you are considering doing like a Duramax conversion. It already has a body lift on there. You're ready to go. You don't have to add a body lift onto the truck. But everything's super clean. Yeah, not a whole lot I can say that's good or bad. It's just really, really clean in here. So let's go ahead and take a look inside the truck. So inside the truck, as you can see, super clean truck. We actually did replace the factory steering wheel. We went with a Momo steering wheel, yellow accent up here. This is all suede. Looks really good with the yellow truck. Overall, I mean, like, man, what can I say? It's just clean. It looks like it came out of somebody's garage, which in fact it did. 35,106 miles on it today. CTIS runs like a champ down here. This is kind of a cool feature. If you're not familiar with CTIS, it stands for Central Tire Inflation System. So you can inflate, deflate the tires on the fly. So you're driving along, you can inflate the tires if the tire pressure is a little bit too low, or let's say you come up to an off-road area, you just simply hit the deflate button, hold it down, and you can deflate your tires, drop the air pressure, grab a lot more traction and a lower pressure because it flattens out your tire, and it increases that footprint that you have on the ground, almost like creating a tank track, expanding it out front to back and also the width. So that makes a huge difference out of the truck, especially in off-road conditions, but also on-road driving, because I hate to say it, I would say even the most avid off-roader out there who swears they're the gnarliest guy out there off-roading, they're probably only off-roading their truck maybe 10% of the time, 10% of the miles that are driven, because you're typically going fairly slow and you got to get out when you're off-road, but you also have to get out to that off-road area. So that could be a couple hundred miles. You're spending hours driving out there and back. So might as well adjust your tire pressure and get a softer ride or a smoother ride. I know I dropped the tire pressure down to about 30 PSI for my wife and when the kids are in here. And then I run it up to like 40 or so because I want to have a little bit better wear life out of the tires. So that's a CTIS system. It runs perfect. It has a factory clock. This is kind of funny if you guys aren't familiar with it. AM General put a clock in here. Fast forward to 2020. Completely useless, but it's kind of cool to see the factory clock in here functioning and working. Very few of these clocks work. I'm sure this thing probably has some value to it just because it still works. So all the factory gauges are in here. We have the factory stereo system in a box from the original owner. He was adamant about keeping all the factory parts that were replaced. And really the only two things I think that he replaced was the starter, which we still have, as well as he upgraded to this Pioneer sound system. So this guy in here works great, but we do have the factory monsoon system if you wanted the factory system in here. And then he did put in a GPS, a Garmin GPS 3. And that was the hot ticket back in the late 90s, early 2000s was this GPS unit. Again, fast forward to 2020, completely pointless. So you may want to remove that. Coming over here, you have the 6-disc changer. Again, another completely useless system on board the truck. But we do have a kit. You can replace this with a flat plate and put switches across here. There's a number of different options you can do up here. You could replace this whole panel right here, remove this guy, with like a doubled in stereo, like a full face unit here that has full screen, and then move the HVAC controls right up here. So that's what a lot of people do inside these trucks, or the original trucks, or just run this guy. But overall, awesome truck. This is the insulated soft top that I was talking about before. You can see because it has this insulation that kind of protrudes down here, and versus an older soft top like a 95, 96, they're gonna have just like one piece of vinyl on here. And then driving down the highway with this thing doesn't flutter around or do anything weird. It's just pretty stable. The older soft top, which just has the vinyl on there, you'll actually get kind of like a lot of flutter because it is fairly lightweight and thin material. So this is a nice system to have on here. But overall, awesome truck. Really clean truck, so whoever's gonna get this truck is gonna be pretty excited. All right, so I wanna give you an update on the Exoskeleton as well. Right behind me, let's go take a look at this thing. Jared's been really busy with the stereo system. So where do we stand right now, Jared?
So right now I'm wiring up the speakers in the overhead console. These are the crossovers, 2 speakers, and then your 2 tweeters. That's gonna go above, and then got the amp installed today to run all 6 speakers.
Oh yeah, don't forget the W7. Look at this thing. You guys haven't seen this before. This thing is massive, but this is how it comes packaged. It's got to be like 40, 50 pounds or so. Take a look at that magnet. Just crazy. That's going in there. Are you gonna mount this under a seat?
No. We're gonna have to build a big custom box back here.
Okay.
Custom. Have to get Randy's help on that one.
Yeah. So what's going on inside here?
I had to pull some of the interior out to run some wires. I got the amp installed, brand new speaker wire installed, 6 speakers. And we're gonna come take a look at the amp install. Got the amp all tucked away up here, nice above the overhead. All clean, all brand new wire. It'll be out of the way.
Amp installed, truck done. Good amp installed, truck done.
So
you're better at this. You should do it.
How do you do, Ryan?
Did really good, buddy.
Really good. Well, I'll work with you this week.
All right.
Again, and we'll get you back on the vlog.
Yeah.
And we'll film about the whole process that you've done on the Exo so far with this new system.
Why so close?
Why not?
He invades your space, huh?
Yeah.
He's always in my bubble. I'm like, dude, so whenever I hang out with him, I always have my foot out like this. so you can't like cross over that area like you can kick it.
Oh, there you go.
But hey folks, thanks for watching. Appreciate it very much. Make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. And what else? He doesn't know this one.
Click the likes.
Click the likes. Thanks for watching.